capital of California, the Sacramento Freelancers. One of the popular charts this season, The Sunshine of My Life.
Had a blister of a tempo, I might add.
Strong soprano solo work featured in the Freelancers opener.
Yes, he's one of the better jazz soloists, you know, we'll hear. Maybe if you got a minute, Steve, as I was wondering when I was first exposed to this, the chaps walking around with not in uniform.
The guys that look like they don't belong there.
The guys that are lost.
They are the adjudicators or the judges.
And they're also taping down there, aren't they, Steve? Taping comments into a cassette recorder?
They tape
right
comments
from the field?
as they go, and in some cases write on sheets on clipboards. You can see them moving through the formation now, the Freelancers.
And they're adjudicating individual musicianship and...
in one case, and they're also looking at percussion and marching execution.
Right, checking the lines and
the proficiency
like
with which the corps performs.
They've got a very tricky job out there to be doing all this and tape comments at the same time and then stay out of the way of the whole thing.
I've seen a couple get clocked in my 18 years of this, and there are another group of judges upstairs as well. Major Carl Allison leading the Freelancers tonight. Good crowd here at Olympic Stadium.
Nice little trumpet solo there. Well, trumpet, I shouldn't call them trumpets, right?
Soprano.
Soprano, yes. Sorry about that. I'll be right on the case with this by next year.
Pretty sound. Nice dynamic control as the Freelancers spread it out. They make use of just about all the field available. Big open drill. Moves very nicely and smoothly from pattern to pattern.
And this is the corps with the kind of different color guard with their curved flag.
You can see at backfield they've taken their flagpole and given it a contour that provides for a nice visual image. Now they go back to the straight poles with double silks, actually streamers at the end. Rifle spinning two at once, providing a nice effect. Superb coordination between drill and music as the different voices are pictured carrying the melody lines when they come forth in the drill. Multiple tempos in that, and they handled them all very well, the different fields.
Oh yeah, I thought they did a real ace job in that whole piece. Very good work. Now this is the percussion feature once again.
Yes. We talked briefly before about coordination, and it's so very, very important, and that's one of the things that these corps are judged on. The drill and the music have to fit together like the proverbial hand and glove. One has to accent the other and do maximum justice to the other to score well.
Well, for the listeners' benefit, Steve, who was just talking, has been involved with drum corps for how many years? 19 years?
18, I guess, this year.
And Rob, the person that's speaking now, has been involved very heavily for the last 2 days. But I'm very impressed and love it. Not that anybody would think I'm the expert.
Percussion section at work here. You can see the split in the snare drum shell, which is something a bit different. This started a year or two ago. Some drum people feel it gives better projection of sound.
There's a shot of them there.
See right through the...
Kind of an added feature with the drum major going down to play the gong, right?
Quite a direct contrast to what we've seen with the Bridgman performance. A lot of showboat, very flashy. Freelancers, good, smooth, basic drum corps. Many, many different styles we'll see here in the course of this championship this evening. That's what makes drum corps so much fun. Everybody has a different bag.
Right, there's a great deal of variety. This is a little, oh, well, I wouldn't say subdued, but it's not as quite as crazy as maybe the Bridgman.
Right.
Bridgman seems to be a little more tongue-in-cheek or something like that. Maybe that's why I like them. But,
it's a gorgeous sound. Barry Manilow's even now, and a beautiful drill move here as they take the whole form, glides across the field, and head for the back corner. Great deal of responsibility in the hands of the individual marcher. He has to hold that form, keep his spacing, keep the line, the contour, and at the same time, if he's a horn player, play well.
Right. Well,
and same with the drummers.
And the drummers.
Color guard have
look at
their maneuvers to execute.
You know, the drummers with the 3 drums, they've got to hold them up, play their part. It's a very effective routine. Big sound at the end to close out the Freelancers performance here tonight. We should explain when that first gun went off, that means 11.5 minutes have expired. That's the minimum time a corps has to perform by our rules. When the gun goes, the execution judges quit, hang up their sheets, as do the analysis judges, and that's the chance that the corps has to really open it up and do some things they might not dare do when the execution judges are watching them closely. The 27th Lancers from Revere, Massachusetts. They were 7th in the preliminaries. Opening with the big sounds of Seahawk.
energetic corps, 27th, generating a lot of excitement.
Very powerful, Steve. Very powerful brass section anyway. I noticed just one of the adjudicators just about got beamed there.
It happens. I've seen it happen more than once. Used to be an art form in the old days, chasing judges.
Right. Especially if you find out what they mark you.
27 started the season very slowly, but they've come on like gangbusters here the last part of the year. Our season roughly runs from the beginning of June through August. This is the final night for the most part, the big capper to it all, although the corps practice for the better part of the year. Nice feel to this, Don Ellis, very complex rhythmic.
Right, this is another bunch of weird time signatures and very hard to keep together in ideal conditions, let alone these. I'd like you to explain to me sometime, you know, about where these corps are from and they're not connected with schools and all that. Sometime when it gets quieter, maybe.
Drum Major Doug Edwards leading the 27th Lancers through their paces.
Boy, this one sure has horsepower. Oh! High R above S.
That's a trombonium bugle right there, Rob.
Oh,
We've got all
that's
kinds
an
of
interesting
voices.
looking instrument. Still just 2 valves though, right?
Right.
That's tough to do.
Lay it out there.
A lot of double tonguing in that passage there. Oh, very impressive performance of that. It's very tough tune to play. The sopranos did great. All that taka 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 taka, you know. I mean, I can't even show you how it's supposed to go. I'm supposed to be a brass player.
And the touch of Brubeck here. Blue Rondo a la Turk as the percussion section is featured.
Yes, we heard this from one other corps earlier also, didn't we?
This is the time to keep the eye on the color guard as they get a chance to give their visual fireworks. Rifles and flags working in tandem.
Now these are the regular snares, Steve, are they? These aren't the split ones.
Watch the file now. The 50-yard line is the guard. Crosses and then rotates. Drum line punching things out. The whole form turning here. Zap. It's got to all be together. It all has to fit.
Well, that looked pretty good to me.
It fit well.
Yeah. That's kind of a I'll show you attitude that I like, you know, like they're just so.
I guess you could call 27th visually aggressive drum corps because they are that.
Certainly you could call them that. I like that, visually aggressive. I'll use that later on.
It's a pretty form and a movement as the horn line comes in spokes and the guard moves out through them.
Offenbach, yeah. I was just looking. Gaiety Parisienne, is that what this is called?
Starts in a very low-key mood, but it livens up quickly here.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Here's where it starts getting a little crazy now as the Lancers have some fun. Good looking drill move here. Now we take the term can and give you a near literal translation with the sopranos in the front. Helped along by the guard girls.
It's got a nice Count Basie blues chord on the end of it whole thing. Shows that somebody has a sense of humor about it, really.
The crowd enjoying that little bit of light moment. And again, a total mood shift. Contrast is important. Peaks and valleys in a show. It's 27 tones it down and moves backfield ever so nicely with Danny Boy, which has been a trademark for them through the years. The front now rotates.
some marching backwards, some forwards. That's very hard to do. Pretty straight line there today, Steve.
Pardon me?
Pretty straight line there today.
Now revving up for the final climax. Color guard really adding a lot of visual flash there with the rifles on their back spinning and double banners, double silks on the flags. What a season this has been for our next corps, the Crossmen from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 6th in the prelims.
With some more Stan Kenton. Artistry drums. This is the intro is artistry and rhythm. But
heavy jazz flavor to the Crossmen show this year, which they handle well.
well, this is another real tough chart to play, especially with this. The bass is going boom, 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 boom.
String bass feeling.
Right. Nice deep crescendo there.
Excellent dynamic control by the horn line.
Beautiful. There's a nice soprano solo there too. It's like not a high register solo for once, and that he played it quite musically.
Percussion not at all overbearing here either, giving a nice feel to things.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
Boy, the Crossmen spread it from end line to end line at the end of that. Their opener, Stan Kenton's Artistry and Rhythm.
Boy, it's a hard row to hoe to keep in tune for 100 yards.
Sure is. You got to keep the tempo together. You got to stay in tune. And may point out again, it's a cold night here in Montreal, and that's not the best conditions to play a brass instrument.
No, and it's getting cooler.
Drum major helping out with the percussion section. color guard with a change of banners here, and those are really flashy silks. They catch your attention. Making effective visual use of their capes.
Great performance as a percussion feature of Cal Jader's tune. The late Cal Jader. Name of it again? Shoshana.
Crossmen from Philadelphia. From up here, that appears to be our flugelhorn bugle that you're hearing.
Yeah, there's so many of them, I haven't got them straight yet.
We've got multiple voicings. For just about any brass instrument, we have a counterpart. Any concert band instrument. Gives an arranger quite a nice free hand to work with.
I think this is the Crossmen arranger.
An original.
It's an original piece.
Major Mark Thompson leading the concert performance.
I should know, now that I brought that up, the arranger is Tony Yaklik. Here.
Big kick. That soloist's face showed the intensity.
Well, he isn't fooling around there. He's pressing hard. Very good chart and very well performed.
They've got a long way to try to project to the judges upstairs in the general effect box. They're up here to the level that we are, which is about midway up Olympic Stadium. They've got to push that sound all the way up there and still control it.
And in the case of that piece, the backgrounds are you know, he's right in the middle of the percussion section. It's a wonder he can hear it all. I mean, he has to really
Meanwhile, the accompaniment
blow the darn thing.
also has to get the subtleties and the nuances of the chord structures and rhythmic patterns up here as well. Drill placement is very important, what individuals are where when they're playing. Color guard coming across the field with flag and rifle in hand. Interesting drill set here as the pattern flows together now.
Oh, that's pretty.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
They've got to control the form as they rotate the axis here and bring it all the way around.
Well, you know, rotate the form, get everybody in line, do the decrescendo, play the music. They've got a lot on their mind, and they're just doing it.
Drill design has changed tremendously in the last several years. It used to be up and down the 50-yard line. Everything had bilateral symmetry to it. That has become very complex. Very different. This is Russian Christmas music and a nice big sound coming up here. Crossmen, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Great show.
Good performance tonight. They sounded on, and they have had a whale of a year, one of the best years they've had, finishing at 6th in the prelims and looking every bit as strong here tonight. One of America's oldest drum and bugle corps, the Garfield Cadets, having a super year.
Where are they from, Steve?
Garfield, New Jersey.
Garfield, New Jersey.
Came charging in here in 5th in the prelims, and they begin the cluster of corps that broke the 90 barrier. Nice octave.
Yeah, for sure.
Opening with some Gershwin. This show is just a visual treat.
corps plays a little more traditional music, not too much jazz in this presentation anyway, but it's equally nice. It's actually a nice change.
Gorgeous drill moves in this show. They're constantly moving. One thing a drill designer tries to do is avoid muddled transitions between patterns. That means getting from one visual picture to another. And they manage to avoid that pretty well. It's almost like there's constantly a different overall image, a kaleidoscopic effect.
Boy, you sure have a way with words, Steve. Boy, look at that.
The Corps was founded back in 1934 and have retained that cadet-style uniform all those years in the horn line. The color guard uniform, of course, as you see, has changed a bit.
They sure have a lovely drill.
Big rotation of the form here. Nicely done.
Beautiful. Now this is called Cuban Overture. With a
Coming up here, yes.
right. Oh, we're not into it yet.
Setting of the musical mood done very effectively here.
Mm-hmm. Nice kind of legit sounding treble solo, you know, soprano solo. Sorry again. There's some chops there. Oh, cow.
Opening up the musical barrels.
Boy, oh boy, are they ever.
Cuban Overture.
Sorry, that was my fault. I thought we were going flying into the percussion feature, which is coming up now. So Rob goofed again.
We got quite an assortment of mallet instruments down there on the side. We can see some of them on the monitor.
Yes, and real full-size, marimba and bass marimba, and standard set of vibes.
That was an innovation that came to drum corps in the 60s, late 60s. Very controversial when the first set of bells was introduced to drum and bugle corps. They've been used in marching bands, of course, for many years. We tend to think of ourselves as a purer form, I guess.
Well, they make very effective use of them.
And a good merging of patterns here as the triangles come together and then flow into something else. Color has changed silks, adding a different kind of visual touch. The yellow and the orange. Familiar strains of George Gershwin's Concerto in F. See the mallets working in tandem now with the timps. It's about anything's fair game in the drum corps percussion section now.
They're starting to build some sort of house down there.
Yes, sir. And another change in silk colors. Now, they did indeed build a house, Rob. They built a big house at the end.
Right.
And the folks in this house liked it a lot. The Garfield Cadets.
They're all up.
Garfield, New Jersey. In the background, you can hear people chanting east. Garfield plays highest of any of the corps from the eastern part of the U.S. And never has an eastern corps won the championships. So Garfield is what we call the Great Eastern Hope.